Hi everyone, good afternoon. Welcome back to the fourth of our TED Talk Saturday. Back again with the British Council with Jodel and iTell team. Thank you very much for coming. There are some teachers from Vietnam. So good afternoon, good morning right now in the UK. Enjoy the fourth. Usually we have two speakers. This time we have three. Two from the UK and one from Indonesia. So Joe is going to introduce the two speakers from the UK, and later I'm going to introduce the speaker from Indonesia. So I hand it over to Joe. Joe?
Fantastic. Thank you ever so much, Pak Jati. Welcome everybody to the fourth Saturday Tech Talk. We're rushing through all these different webinars. It's amazing, and it's fantastic to have this collaboration between UK language teachers and Indonesian language teachers as well. It's fantastic. And talking of collaboration, that's what this Saturday Tech Talk is all about. And it's my absolute pleasure to be introducing Sabine Pichou and Rebecca Jones from Swavesey Village College in the UK, who are a perfect example of how a department can collaborate together, share resources, work with each other. And I was delighted when Sabine and Rebecca agreed to present for our Saturday Tech Talk, because I've seen them present before and they're absolutely wonderful. So we've got 20 minutes now. We're in for a real treat, and without further ado, I'd like to pass over to Sabine first, and then we'll have Rebecca in the second half of their presentation. As per normal, if you could put questions in the chat, it's helpful for me who'll be collecting the questions. If you put the letter Q in front of your question, and then we'll have a couple of questions at the end of the first session once Sabine and Rebecca have finished, and then we'll do some more Q&A at the end of the webinar. So over to you, Sabine, and thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Well, thank you, Joe, for the intro. So I'm going to share my PowerPoint now, and hopefully it's here. Okay, so good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us, and good afternoon to attendees in Southeast Asia. So Becky is going to share a link in the chat. We had a QR code, but it's not there yet. So Becky is going to share a link in the chat for a WooClap poll. So please note down any ideas that you may want to explore further or use in your school setting throughout the presentation. So you may want to, you can vote more than once. So every time you like something and you may think, oh yes, that's something I like to take away from this presentation, do write it down, and then we'll share back our our work at the end and your ideas at the end. So it's a real pleasure to be invited to showcase our ideas. We're working to show you our collaborative departmental approach and what collaboration looks like in a classroom, with hopefully some example of activities that you can take away and use in your own educational setting with your students. Oops, right, I'm just gonna stop it. So we've divided the presentation in three parts. First, I will show you how we use Microsoft Teams as a platform to support our collaborative approach, how Microsoft Teams has given us a structure through which to share our planning. And then Becky will showcase some activities that enhance collaboration for our students and that have proven to be highly successful and motivational in the classroom. Right, I'm just need to move this. Yes. So first, let me share a bit more about our school context. We are a secondary school in Cambridgeshire in the UK, and we teach students age ranging from 11 to 16. We've also have strong links with our primary feeder schools, and we deliver our French curriculum there. We are a team of 8 teachers. We teach French, Spanish, and German. We have always worked quite collaboratively and shared resources, ideas, and planning and assessment. And some of us have been in the school for over 15 years, and we've got new members of staff, and we all incorporate new members of staff when they join in the team and share this collaborative ethos. We've been in Microsoft School for almost 6 years now. However, we haven't used it for so long. It's only been for the last 2 years as a consequence of the pandemic and remote learning that we've started to use the full potential of the Microsoft Teams, as well as enabling us to redesign our curriculum. So we are implementing Dr. Gianfranco Sconti's EPI pedagogy and strategy of tracking for the last 2 years. You may be familiar with this approach in your own sphere of teaching, and it's certainly proven to be very popular here amongst our teachers and learners. Right, so Microsoft Teams, as I said, has given us a collaborative platform through which to share our departmental vision, but also to be able to share our planning, resources, and a structure on which to organize it. We've divided our workload, and every member of the team is responsible for the planning of lessons. Okay, sorry. A homework and assessment for 1 year group. So Microsoft Teams allow co-ownership of class teams. So for example, the lead teacher of a year group co-owns all those class on teams and can easily and efficiently distribute assignments, work and messages across a whole year group. The idea of sharing and distributing the planning of resources has greatly improved the quality of lessons for the students and has also reduced the workload for our staff and enhanced their mental well-being. Especially during the pandemic, where the workload has increased, coupled with the redesign of our curriculum. For the staff teams, has also proven to be a fantastic platform through which to communicate and support each other, whether it's be sharing ideas in the files or through the chat, where there's lots of communication. Also on the students level, it's helped to raise student engagement and communication. They feel able to ask questions on the general post, and there's several teachers attached to the class, or indeed other class members who are able to respond to their queries. So that's continuing the work that we do in the classroom, where students would ask questions, ask if they have any problem with work, and the Microsoft Teams is just carrying on this conversation. So I'm going to stop sharing this presentation now and go and give you a live demo of what Teams look like. So I've stopped sharing, and right, I'm just gonna go and share Teams. So hopefully you can see my team. So this is what my team looks like. So first, you can see that all my teams, I'm the curriculum leader for languages at Swavesey Village College. So I've owned that. I'm part of this curriculum, SVC curriculum leader team. That's the staff area. And here is a modern foreign languages team. And you can see that it's not Swavesey Village College, it's the Cambridge Meridian Trust. So I can't open it for GDPR purposes, but if you were to open it, the MFL Trust team is made of 11 channels, one channel for every single school which belongs to our trust. So we are a trust in Cambridgeshire, Bedfordshire, Northamptonshire. So geographically, we are not necessarily very close by, but we are all part of the same trust. And this is allowing us to share our resources through this channel. So each school has their own channel, and we organize it independently. So for example, in Swavesey, we've got a file which is divided into the French, Spanish, and German department. And then other way to organize, we use a post extensively, and we use a chat function within our channel. But we also have the same level of sharing within. We have a general post for all the trust, which enable us to not only share and collaborate with teachers within our school, but within our trust, which represent over 100 MFL teachers here. Then you can see all the teams which have all our Bitmojis on it, so you may think this is a bit frivolous. But for me, it's particularly useful as a curriculum leader who oversees, the progress of all the students in the school, of the three subjects, French, Spanish, and German. I can at a glance know who is a teacher of a specific class, and look for a specific student. Through accessing all the teams, I can share best practice back with the rest of the teams. We also use friendmojis for when classes are shared between two teachers. And again, this just sets the tones to our students on and reinforce our collaborative approach. They may have two teachers, but we have the same vision and expectations for them. So this is just a nice way as well to personalize the teams, and for students in remote learning, they found it, quite nice, and to, have our Bitmoji and connect with us with this. So the post feed on Teams, I've got this demo box here, which we've created for the purpose of the webinar. And you can see at the top, which I can't see because I've got my Zoom, post. So on the post, we would share competitions, we would share top tips, ideas with the rest of the department. And this is a great way to communicate and store things here. So we're using it as to avoid clogging emails as well. The chat function is particularly useful, and it was particularly useful, and we started to use it extensively in remote learning as a replacement of the natural conversation that you would have in a staff room, sharing ideas, CPDs, anything we see on Twitter, asking questions. And I think it has really helped a younger member of the team to ask questions, feel free to share ideas without the more formal way of sending an email. And then we've got our shared in the file, our shared PowerPoint, which is made of our favorite lessons. So I'm just opening it. I won't go through it in details. And this is just a menu of activities for our collaborative planning. So to support workload, to support planning, we have a set of activities that we use. And whenever we start planning a sequence of lessons, we can go back and we use templates of activities that we like the most and that have been shared, on Twitter by other educators. Okay, so I will close this now, the PowerPoint. And finally, what we like about Teams is all the integrations. Team is a collaborative platform in essence. We've integrated Quizlet for vocabulary learning. We've integrated WooClap, which is a great tool which enable an audience response tool to interact with our students. We use Class Notebook, which is since we've gone paperless in the classroom. So this is me done, and now over to Becky I'm going to pause the share. Over to Becky to take over and share more specific collaboration in the classroom.
Okay. Yes. Hello, everybody. Okay, I am sharing my screen. Hopefully you can see that now. So I'm going to talk about how we use collaborative approaches in the classroom. So we found that collaborative working has become much more important during these times where students have become more deprived of social contact and can lack confidence more than usual in the classroom setting, especially when it comes to speaking a foreign language. Creating, therefore, a safe and supportive environment in which dynamic, purposeful learning can take place is essential, and establishing rules and expectations about how you work together will be important to do this well. So collaborative learning is about where students work together, where they need each other in order to achieve a task, and where they're all expected to participate in order to achieve that goal, that group's success. So as Sabine said, largely thanks to the wealth of sharing on Twitter and through webinars such as this, we've come across numerous activities and websites that we found really useful, particularly when working remotely or in hybrid situations, and also that have lent themselves very well to the classroom. So we found that activities which involve team games with a competitive element have brought about lots of fun and excitement, raised motivation and engagement levels, whilst the team aspect has brought about that much needed sense of camaraderie and togetherness. So now I shall showcase a few of the activities that we have found very popular in class. So let's have a look at the first one. So one of our favorite websites that we came across during lockdown has to be flippity.net. It's a free platform. You just need a Google account to be able to copy and adapt the templates, which then save automatically into your Google Sheets on your account. There is such a wealth of activities to use on Flippity, many of which lend themselves very well to collaborative learning. So this activity is called manipulatives, which would have been done as a traditional card sort in class. And you can now do this live online and drag the elements around to fit into the boxes, as well as a teacher, you can change the background, put different structures on there. And this also works really nicely in a breakout room if you're doing remote learning. So as you can see, we've included some questions as well at the top that the group or pair would need to be ready to answer to explain their learning, as well as complete the task. So by allocating roles in line with the students' strengths, we remind them that it's important that everyone contributes in some way and is prepared to answer the questions at the end of the session when they feed back to the class as a whole. So in this instance, as you can see, the verbs need to be sorted into the correct tense grouping, and students would be encouraged to look for language patterns and to explain how to structure a particular tense. So moving out of that, and let's have a look at this one. Yes, there we go, board games. Classic board games. There's lots of websites such as Genially, Deck Toys, and others that we're less familiar with, where you can create board games. This one is from Flippity, which again, you can print out or play online. If you're playing online, the counters move around. You can change the images in the squares. You can, there's two different card layers where you can generate questions through the cards, and there's a dice which you can roll, or of course you can print it out and play it traditionally in the classroom. So what we do is, working in a team of 3 or 4, we give one of the students a list of the questions and answers, which could be translations of key expressions or sentences. And another student keeps a note of the mistakes that are being made. And the remaining students play the game. Then they'll swap roles and play it again. So, and as you can see as before, there's a set of questions that they need to answer when they feed back to the class. And this makes for a very effective, low risk, collaborative revision activity. Let's move on to another game. Oh, this is another example of a board game on Genially with very beautiful graphics, same concept. And let's look at Blockbusters. So, another popular classic game, which I'm sure you may have played with your students. So again, the students are given the set of questions in advance and time. So in their groups, then they prepare their answers to the questions, for this purpose, spotting the error, and then they need to be able to explain their learning as well. And then obviously when it's time to play, you can click, make their pathways across, just double click to turn it into blue and block each other, and all the fun that comes with playing a game. Okay, now moving on to another Flippity activity. This is one of our favorites. This is the Flippity matching game. So again, it's a pairs memory game. We usually play this with English, an English sentence on one card and a French translation on the other, or of course, German or Spanish. And what's really brilliant about doing it live on through Flippity is that you can set the audio as well. And the accent's pretty good, to be fair, for a machine. So the example that I will show you, I did with two matching English sentences, but I adapted it to put one English sentence spoken in an English accent and the same sentence spoken in an American accent. So it's not just about training their memory with regard to the sentence, but also trying to tune in their ear to the different accents, which of course could be a discussion point for the group. And to add a twist to this game, I like to change the background and put an image up just for aesthetics, but also like to hide a message on that image, such as a fun fact or an expression. And I don't know if you can see hidden behind the cards, there's some sort of evidence of a sentence there hiding away. And again, that's one of the additional challenges which encourages another aspect of collaborative working, seeing which group can work out the hidden message first. So now this, in terms of making this even more collaborative, something which we've only recently started to think about is facilitating collaborative decision-making within the class in terms of creating the content. So by sharing the spreadsheet template with the class, the groups can decide the sentences that they want to practice. And it's really easy to set up and publish and get a link very quickly. And as a teacher, you still have the chance to hide the image in the background as well for that added element of surprise. So I'm going to drag over a template and show you what that looks like. Just give it a chance to refresh. And hopefully you will see it populate with some sentences. There we go. So this is the template that you would find on a Flippity, or from the Flippity website, again, free. And so I've already populated this with sentences, but you could easily, very easily sort of say to the class, okay, imagine you've been to London and you've had a lovely trip, or maybe they have been. What did they, where did they visit? What did they do? And you can populate those sentences there with all of their ideas and simply copy it over, changing, as you can see at the top, the English audio to UK or US. And then you simply click underneath to get the link and fetch the link after having published it. And the students will then see the magic unfold in front of their eyes with the game that they have participated in creating. And again, they won't have been aware of the hidden message underneath. So click the numbers and then hopefully you'll be able to hear the sides.
I watched the performers in Covent Garden. We took a photo of the London Eye. It was really breathtaking, but a little expensive.
Last year, I spent a wonderful week in London.
Okay, so that's an idea. And obviously when you find a pair, then the pairs disappear and start to reveal the message that is underneath. So I shall just move that away and this away and go back to the PowerPoint. There we go. So effectively what we've found is that really with any classic game, you can, oops, you've gone on too far. Ooh, way too far. Nice to see some ideas coming through on the WeClap. That's really brilliant, by the way. All right. So we found that with things like Cluedo, Battleships, Connect 4, Noughts and Crosses, essentially you can turn probably any classic team game into a collaborative working exercise by introducing effective questioning that extends the learning, along with the distribution of roles and responsibilities within the group to ensure that the students work together. And we've certainly found that the more students have positive experiences of working in groups, they're more comfortable they seem to become with participation and risk-taking academically. They are certainly building better relationships again, they're more engaged, and not just in their learning, but in the process of learning, and as well, of course, as maintaining that excitement that comes with a game. And you can play all of these activities live in the classroom, online, remote learning sessions, hybrid sessions, bringing that class together no matter the circumstances. And without fail, these students ask time and time again, can we play, can we play? So on that note, I shall hand over to Sabine to take up the speaking.
Okay, thank you, Becky. So if you want to move to the next slide. Yes. So thank you, Becky. So those are the websites that we've mentioned, and we're not going to go any more in details because it's nearly time for us to finish. But we would really want you to explore those websites further. They are our favorite, and they really do promote collaboration in the classroom and are fantastic. Free, some of them are free tools for education that we've used a lot for the last 2 years. So if we move to the WOOC Lab, I know some of you have contributed, so that's fantastic. So it's great to see that PPT is popular in our poll, and that's definitely something that we absolutely love. There's so many free templates that you can use and to create tasks for in-person, remote, hybrid learning, how to make student engagement and support. Obviously, collaboration does promote students' engagement and give them the support. Teamwork, yes, hidden message, it's Becky's magic. Okay, so thank you for contributing. Do continue to populate the WOOC Lab and share maybe something that you want to continue to take from today's session.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Wow, that was absolutely amazing. Thank you ever so much, Rebecca and Sabine. Superb. So we've got a question for you, if that's okay. We've also got lots of comments about how inspiring, amazing, I'm just reading them now, that the presentation has been. So thank you so much for putting in so much in a short period of time. Mm-hmm. So we've got a great question, quite an open-ended question from Winder, which is, I used Teams a lot a few months ago, but I rarely use it at this moment, as I know Teams now has developed new features that I'm not familiar with, though I was a Microsoft Innovative expert back then. What is the most frequently used feature of Microsoft other than Teams that you use in your department? That's a great question.
So within Teams?
Another feature that Microsoft has that's not to do with Teams.
Okay.
Well, I think with the PowerPoints, we've found that the Microsoft PowerPoint is much more dynamic now, and the fact that you can get your add-ins such as the WOOC Lab, where you can see things happening live on the screen, brings a lot of magic to the classroom. Fantastic.
What about Immersive Reader? Are you using that at all?
Well, I haven't used it, so I've been watching loads of presentation on Immersive Reader, and I need to definitely explore it further, especially with Class Note book, which has the feature. So that's definitely something.
The dictation tool.
Yeah, the dictation. I think the dictate tool has been brilliant. So I was using it to prepare the presentation. So for example, we rehearsed with Becky and we recorded it, and then I just played my phone onto a Word document, and it's typed up our presentation, and then we just
and I use that in the classroom as well with the students if they're giving answers, and I'll create the text box and they'll speak. As long as they're close enough to the microphone, it will pick up what they're saying as well, which is quite fun for them.
Excellent. Yeah, I love the dictate feature. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much again. We'll have you back for the Q&A at the end, but thank you so much for your amazing presentation, and it's given, I can see in the chat, it's given people lots of ideas around how they can use the ideas you've shared in their own classrooms. So that's brilliant. Thank you so much. Excellent.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Right, I'm now going to pass back to Pagjati to introduce our next speaker.
Okay, thank you so much, Joe. Thank you for the very inspiring talk in a very short time. So we learned a lot of collaboration tools about the Flippy PPT that's not really popular around here. It's in low bandwidth and good for collaborative classroom activities. Our next speaker is going to be Pak Agus. Pak Agus De Priyatno is a teaching staff at the English Diploma program from vocational school from Universitas 11 Maret. He is also expert in call in the past, and his research include multimodality, discourse analysis, and Pak Agus actually is one of the iTell founders, and now is a proud member of iTell. He is also very active in the Masyarakat Linguistik Indonesia, or MLI, and also Association of Semantic Functional Linguistics in Indonesia, or ASFLI. And the Teachers of English as a Foreign Language in Indonesia, also active in TEFLIN. Without further ado, Pak Agus, the floor is yours, Pak. You've got around 20 minutes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Pak Jati. Thank you, Joe. And thank you for the inspiring presentations, Becky, and also, yeah. All right, so today, probably I don't need 20 minutes to share my very light topics. It's about the, again, some activities for our students to collaborate online. So let me just start sharing my screen here. Here we go. Oops. Here we go. Okay, so my presentations will again, just show what I have been doing with my students here, and hopefully that will give you, and I believe probably some of you have used this or have done these activities, but let us share, and probably I can also learn from you all to improve our teaching practice and our students' learning experience. So that's the purpose of these presentations. And this afternoon, or this morning, or this evening, from different parts of the world, we are sharing again not so many tools as what Becky just shared earlier, but I believe some of us are more have been familiar with this. Let me start from this. What type of collaborative activities have you done with for your learners? Let us type your answers at the chat box so that I can see what kind of collaborative activities have you suggested to your students. I'm waiting at the chat box. Morning dictations, teamwork, yes, interactions, okay, pair work, yes, pairing, okay, read and run translations, project, okay, I've been waiting for this, communications, jigsaw, yes, all cooperative learning activities, group work, not boring stuff, all right, okay. What else? I'm still waiting. Group work. Okay. Pairing. Essay writing. Essay writing. Pair work. Conversation club. Right. Now, let me just go to another or the next slide. So I believe you have been doing some collaborative activities as what you have just typed down in the chat box. But let us see the next, okay. And why should we promote collaborative learning? What for? Please, you go to this website, bit.ly/STT, that stands for Saturday Tech Talk. Why collaborate? I'm waiting on the page now. bit.ly/STT_why collaborate. Now I'm working on that one, and let me just share that screen so that everybody can see. Where is that? Okay, here we go. What you need to do, probably, okay. So thank you for typing that on the chat box. Thank you very much. Probably if you don't have the account, you have to sign up. But again, I believe almost everybody has a Google account. You can just sign up with your Google account. Cool. Could you please, now we are trying to have this, and I see somebody is there, and you can double click on the, on the sticky notes, and then after that you can type down why we should promote collaborative learning. Let us try this. Okay, here we go. I see Vinita Devi is there. I can see the yes over here. Now we have Toa. We have somebody else over there. And ladies and gentlemen, if we have the participants up here, if you can see, and also the one who are moving around the screen. And again, as probably you can just double click here, and you can just type down your message like this. Okay, please try. Engage students. Okay, I can see somebody is typing. All right. Cool. Okay, I think you get the message of using this app. So usually I use this app to brainstorm ideas, as what I am doing with you all. I'm inviting you to, suggest some ideas and why we should promote. Okay, let me just share some good point. As what you can see here, somebody is typing the notes, yes, message. And you can see over here the, the message here. Okay, over there. Okay. And what is nice also, after you finish with brainstorming like this, you can move around the the sticky note like this to make it, to classify the notes I made. Okay, fantastic. Okay, I think you've got the point of using this app. Thank you very much. Okay, and you can explore further. And we have only 20 minutes for this. Okay, we will discuss later the weakness or the challenges of using these applications. Now, let me go back to my PowerPoint. Okay, here we go. Now, we were here. We believe we have some ideas, and I think we are on the same page of the reasons why we should promote collaborative learning. Okay, so that's the point. Now, let us see further. What should we do? Okay, here we go. This is what the Miro.com. You can make more boards yourself with Miro. And here is what I have here. And let me just go. This is another alternative to do the brainstorming or mind mapping. And I believe everybody or almost everybody in this room is familiar with MindMeister. So once again, this is what is it? Substitution. I mean, if you don't like what do you call it, Miro.com, you can use MindMeister, and you can use some other tools to brainstorm with your students from different parts of areas. Okay, so these two tools, once again, are good for brainstorming. Now, again, this is what is it? One of the mind map we developed using MindMeister. At that time, we made a discussion about the COVID-19, and I let my students, develop the ideas and this. And I just, at that time, I just write COVID-19 and everybody comes with ideas. And then later you can use, they can classify the ideas like this. Okay, hopefully you can try this later. Okay, cool. Now, let us try another simple one. Dan saya yakin, and I believe you also have been familiar with this. Now let us go to STT_trial1. Okay, and now let me share my screen for that. If you do not need to log in because I have shared this document to everybody with the link, and so that everybody can see the ideas. Now, I think actually this is the idea, and sorry, we are using a webinar add-on, so we cannot have this. Where is this one? Now have a look. This is a work of my students. This is semester 1 of a university student, and if you are here, please try to make a peer editing. I use usually this Google document. I invite students to edit or to make a peer review for their friends' work. I believe you know this app very easily, and students are more, are happier when they have suggestions from their peers other than from the students. Okay, and before I check the work by myself and give feedback, I usually have my students check their friends so that they can also learn from others. So here we go. The weakness of not inviting them personally is that we cannot see who actually made the editing, because we have anonymous here. But I believe you know how to share Google document with your students. Okay, let me go back now to my PowerPoint. Okay, where is that? Now, here we go. That one, that's the trial. Sorry for speeding up. Now, this is, I believe, we have to keep in mind, when we are bringing project to our students, when we are letting them work together with friends. The project should be agile. That stands for 5 ideas here. The first one is achievable. So the project or the assignment should be appropriate, should match the level of proficiency of the students. And I believe you know this very well. Number 2, the G here should be goal-oriented. What I mean with goal-oriented, we should have the learning objective when we design project for our students to work together. Learning objective and also the goal of the project. The goal should be real and reasonable to work on the project. So A, G. Number 3, I, is the interdependent. Collaboration will not happen when students can do all the project or all the work by himself or by herself. So we have to create a project that students should take the help from others. For this to happen, we need a clear role assignment, so that one student can give contribution to others, or they can learn something from their peers. Again, we need a clear role assignment so that real collaboration will happen. Number 3, and that's number 3, and then number 4, I don't need to comment very much on here, learner center. And I want to stress is about the efficiency. What I mean with being efficient is about the first one is about timing, and the second one is about the use of technology. So the use of technology, or technology should not, it is not the technology that should drive the project. It should be on the vice versa. It should be the lesson, it should be the learning objective before the technology. So the technology, the tools, the apps should follow the learning objective, or yes, the lessons objective. So again, agile, achievable, goal-oriented, interdependent, that means clear role assignment, learner-centered, and efficient. So again, this is, I am suggesting these principles before we let our students work together with others. The next point that I want to share here is that the first one, to make the project work smoothly, we have to introduce the project that includes the aim or the objectives of the projects, and then after that we assign the roles. So one student or two students may have the same the same assignment, the same job, but there should be some other students that have different roles in that group or in that projects. Okay, and then guide the process. By guiding the process here, I mean that we should give the task very clearly, because online collaborative learning may bring our students to the wrong directions if we do not guide the steps by steps. So again, the step-by-step guidance is really important. And for that to happen, sometimes we have to provide the resources that are available online. I believe you know that internet is so wide, is so wild, and it is very dangerous to let our students explore the internet without any guidance or without any signposting. Finally, give assessment and give constructive feedback. For this, let me just share this one, suggest the resources. So again, when I gave assignment to students, I usually select some web pages and suggest them to my students. If you are familiar with Wakelet, I believe you can see this. If it is new for you, you can go to bit.ly /STT again Wakelet, or just scan this with your QR scanner. You can go to my my Wakelet, and your students can learn from the page that we are suggesting. So again, to make sure that they are consuming the right informations. Okay, now I think I'm going to the last the last applications that I will share about the project management. So let me just share this. I know this is from Trello.com, and by using this this project management app, or app, I can make the projects doable for my students. I make the cards here. The first one is brainstorming, and I give the resources here, and then some pictures. Students can suggest some pictures, and also have some drafting and editing up to the right, or the far right, until the end of the project, when the project comes to the result, or produce the result. I think I don't think I need to give the demo on Trello. You can try it by yourself later, Trello.com. Okay, and these are 3 blogs that my students developed: Blooming Crocus, and some are news, WordPress.com, and let me just try, for example, this one. Okay, now stop. Let me share one other. Okay, here we go. This is this is what my students have been doing. So you can see this is developed by DG, or this one. So, and this is Renel behind, and this is Tegar Satrio. So everybody has the post, and at that time I make sure that they peer edited before they posted the article to this blog. And you can see the other 2 blogs of my students. I think I have come to my presentation, at the end of my presentation, Pak Jati. Thank you very much, and we are looking forward to your feedback, your suggestions. Thank you very much. Back to Pak Jati.
Thank you very much, Pak Agus. Wonderful presentation. Thank you for sharing this afternoon with us. Pak Agus, there are some questions from the audience. Let me choose which one. Do you want the easy or the difficult one? Here is a question, Pak. I
will pass the difficult questions to Pak Jati.
Sure. I'm teaching young learners. Do you think we can use Miro for kindergarten class? Or do you have other suggestion for another apps that's similar to Miro? That's the question, Pak.
Kindergarten. Wow. Okay. Brainstorming for kindergarten. Probably MindMaster is more familiar. Oh, sorry. It is probably what do you call it? Good also for young learners, because there are some other easier board type at the Miro.com. So you can drag and so on. Make sure that, and also Miro can facilitate posting the picture. So probably that also interesting for children. I think young learners, I am afraid that young learners are, not all young learners now can type. That is probably another problem of using this tool with students or young learners, I mean. Thank you, Pak Jat. But we can try some other types of the board that is more intriguing for young learners. Thank you.
Okay, another question, Pak. How many discussion board could be made in Miro when we use the free version?
Only 3, but
Only
you can always make another account for another 3 free boards.
Oh, okay. Is there any facility for download the discussion? After they discussing using Miro, is it possible? Is there any possibility to download the result of the discussion?
Yes. Even when we like what we did, the brainstorming, we can download it into an Excel or CSV files, and later we can make the analysis what comes to our students.
Okay. Great. I just have a look at the Miro, and the participants still playing on that board up to now. I still see a moving mouse around. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
probably that's the first time for us to use the Miro, and we like to explore more. Yes, the malls are moving here and there, and I believe after that you are familiar with Miro, and then you can work on the project directly.
Yeah, this is another question from Yunia Budiarti, which is good idea, sir. We can use many apps for collaboration activity focus only using one apps, or switch to use or app recruited from one to another.
Okay, once again, the point is that it's not the app. It's the learning objective, which is much more important. If you can reach the learning goals with one app, then let us use one app.
Yeah, good. Usually I use one apps. If the students get bored and they want, I always ask, do you need to play with another apps? Yeah. And if they say yes, then I'll provide with other apps. Yeah, I agree with you.
But we also have to be careful, because some students probably are low computer literacy skills. So then probably they will be confused if we offer them another app to do the same thing.
Okay, thank you, Marcus. I'll invite Joe, Rebecca, and also Sabine to join us for the final Q&A. If there are some, I saw some in the chat box, in the Q&A box. And all.
Fantastic. Yeah, so we've got a couple more questions to have a look at. That was that last question was fantastic, absolutely brilliant. So could we do a more general question? How would you group the students to make students collaborate effectively? So how would you ask the students to work out their own groups, or would you use some sort of tool to randomly select them? How would you sort out groups for collaboration? Shall I hand over to Rebecca for that to start off with?
Something that I found really effective. So we use the Mint seating plan arrangement on through our school, and we very much believe in constructing the groups so that you have maybe a stronger student with a weaker student, but it's also very much about knowing your students and your personalities. So you don't want a student who's going to intimidate another student. So it's about making sure that they are supportive of one another, and splitting up distractions, and those groups will probably evolve and change over the course of the term and the year as you get to know them better and they feel more confident.
Fantastic, that's lovely. Sabine, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's also once you've established this, a safe classroom environment, where I think any student is quite happy to work with anybody, with anyone, because they know that they are working within a safe environment, that their ideas or their work is valid and everyone is supportive around. So it's really important to build those relationships and establish strong relationship within the classroom. And then I found that students don't necessarily ask to work with their friends, or they know that we create a group and they trust us to give them and assign them their group work. And there's no more discussion about, oh, can I work with so-and-so?
That's lovely. Thank you. Brilliant answers. Agus, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so again, students' motivation is always a problem here. And that's why when I anticipate this with a very clear job assignment, that's the first one, and very clear assessment rubric. So I give the assessment rubric at the beginning or before they start the project. So you will be doing this, and you will, you are successful when you have reached this and this and this. So we give them the the indications of reaching the objectives. That's the first one. Number two, when we are on Trello, then we can assign them the names, then let them update all the steps at Trello when somebody is not active in Trello, and then we have to be, you have to be aware of probably we need to call them, we need to remind them, hey, you have not updated on Trello. So what have been doing? Probably you need help, you can contact me or you contact your friends. That's what I did, Joe and Pak Jati.
I just wanted to pick up as well on your on the question we had earlier around with kindergarten children using a tool like Miro. I mean, there are if you're working in a Microsoft environment, there's Class Notebook. You've got the collaboration space in Class Notebook, which is sort of a self-contained ecosystem, as it were. And then in a Google environment, you've got Jamboard. You've then got other tools such as Nearpod or Padlet, or a new tool which I've shared in the chat called digipad.app. Digipad.app. And if you go to the bottom right of the screen, there's a square made up of 9 little squares, and if you click on that, you can see lots of other tools which are all free, which you can use. It's a French developer that's created this, and there's one called DigiScreen as part of that, which looks very similar to sort of Classroom Screen or Miro. So I would definitely have a look at digipad.app as another set of tools which promote collaboration.
Thank you. So Finita has more experiences in working with young children.
Yeah, and Finn has already put that the Digipad apps and also Digital in the chat box. Yeah,
thank you, Finn.
Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been very nice collaboration. Thank you very much once again, Rebecca and Sabine, for joining us, and Jodel. Next 2 weeks, we're going to have one speaker from the UK, Liliana, I think, and we're going to have Frances Sinanu from Indonesia, going to elaborate on nurturing language autonomy. Yeah, so keep the date on that, spread the news, bring your students if you're working in a university to come with us and spend on our Tech Talk on a Saturday morning in the UK, of course. Yeah, a word to close, Joe?
Well, just like to thank everyone for coming along. We've had some great questions tonight. This morning we had some great questions this morning for the afternoon for people in Southeast Asia. It's really lovely to see such a vibrant group of teachers coming along and asking these fantastic questions. I don't think we've had time to answer everyone's questions, but feel free to reach out to anybody in the team here if you'd like to put those questions directly to us via Twitter, etc. And can't wait till 2 weeks' time for the next Saturday Tech Talk. It's been an amazing webinar series, and thank you to all the presenters for all the work that you put together for these presentations today. They've been fabulous, and I can't wait to share the recording once we've finished up.
Yeah, and thank you very much for the teachers that's come a long way from Vietnam. Bring your friends again, a group of teachers, quite a lot from Vietnam and ask the neighboring country probably. We're going to promote more for the next Malaysia and also Thailand. Kam Eng, that's a thank you very much for Vietnamese. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Okay, everyone. Thank you very much, and see you in the next 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, exit ticket. Don't forget, this is the exit ticket for your certificate. This in the chat box. Daniel already put it there. Yeah. Okay. Have a nice weekend, everyone, and I'll see you in the next 2 weeks. Thank you.